You guys, my eyeshadow palette ranking videos took a bit of a hiatus in the months of April and May because I was gone. And since we're in the middle of June, I decided to go ahead and combine my April and May eyeshadow palette ranking videos. I was traveling and I didn't get a chance to try a lot of palettes, but we have 15 palettes total. I ranked them all. So if that sounds interesting to you, just keep watching. If this happens to be your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Karen Harris. I like to film tan girl friendly makeup videos here on my YouTube. I did film this look as a reel. I'm actually using the new eye brush set from Angela Brighton Sigma Beauty. So if you want to check that reel out, head on over to my Instagram. Otherwise, I might have it up on YouTube as well. And for this look, I am also wearing her eyeshadow palette. So definitely a little less colorful than usual, but I just wanted to mention in case you guys were curious. And then I'm just wearing a shirt that I got. I think this is from Target, so I'll try and remember to link it. It's a cute set. So if you're looking for some athleisure workout clothes, I've had really good luck there. Now let's get into ranking the palettes because we've got a big pile in front of me. I will say that the indie brands are definitely coming for my wallet in these past few months. We've had a lot of really fun IP collaborations. And as always, just a disclaimer, just because I'm ranking things the way I'm ranking them doesn't mean that I'm trying to insult your taste in palettes. I'm doing the best I can. It's really hard to narrow these things down because I like to consider price. I like to consider formula. I like to consider colors. I love to consider packaging. So I'm doing the best I can, ranking things the best way I can. And if I have any additional looks or anything that I've created with these particular palettes, I'll try and pop them up for you as well. I'm actually going to sit here to the side for the first time because every time I'm placing my clips of the palettes, I feel like I'm cutting myself off. So we'll see if this helps, and if it looks a little skewed, don't mind me. But in 15th place is the ColourPop and Tangle palette, and the reason I'm ranking this in the 15th spot is because I didn't really love the formula of this palette. The color story is pretty expected, but I think it just works really well for a collab with Tangled, but it's not the good ColourPop formula. So I feel like they really missed out because this had the potential to be a really great ColourPop collab. I'm also biased because I see so many Disney collabs, but none of them really capture me, but I've seen Tangled so many times with my kiddos. So it does kind of have a special place in my heart, and I wish that this had a better formula. But as far as just being like super cute and a fun collector's piece, you might want to check this out. Now in 14th place, I'm giving it to another IP palette. This is the American Psycho palette that Wicked Widow did. And I really love their eyeshadow formula, but this color story is very cool tone. I really like the look I created with it. It was very like 4th of July, Memorial Day, very America vibes, but I just find this palette a little bit of a snooze fest because the color story is not that interesting to me. And we've got lots of matte brown shades. I guess if you want to put these in your brows, if you want to maybe try and use it on other parts of your face, you could. But overall, this is just not my favorite palette from Wicked Widow. I feel like they've done some other color stories that have definitely captured my attention a lot more. 13th place is one of my favorite brands, but I just thought this color story was also a bit of a snooze fest. And this is Smoky Glam from Bella Beauté Bar. I really love their formula, and they've been doing magnetic pans for quite some time, so you can mix and match in case you want to switch things up. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of mauves, and this is a great everyday palette. It's a workhorse palette, especially if you like these plummy tones, but it's plummy, it's a little bit more cool tone leaning, so that's why I'm ranking it in 13th place. In 12th place is another very boring palette, but I'm telling you, if you're on the hunt for a great everyday neutral palette, you're gonna love the new Spectrum palette from Sigma Beauty. I just find this palette kind of boring, but the shades are beautiful and you're gonna get a lot of mileage with this palette. I had fun creating a look with this palette, and I definitely could see myself using this on a more everyday basis. I think Sigma has a very solid eyeshadow formula, and I really like the size of this palette as well. It's going to be great for anyone that is working with a smaller space to store their makeup. So they did a really good job with that one. And then in 11th place is the palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This is their Route 66 palette. I think this is a fun palette. I just didn't think the color story was the most cohesive. I don't mind it, but we've got some greens and blues on this side and then some neutrals. And then these are supposed to be like neon shimmers to symbolize the fun lights on Route 66. I don't know that they necessarily nailed these being neon, but I think this is overall a really cute palette. I just feel like the competition was fierce this month, so I rank this at number 11. Number 10 is so cute. This is the Glamlite Nearly Natural palette, and you've seen some neutral palettes in this video already, but I think this is definitely my version of a spicy neutral palette. So they already have the Nearly Natural palette, but they redid it, and I think they added more shades and then switched up some of the shimmers, and so they created the ultimate really spicy neutral palette. So if I was picking and price wasn't a factor, I'd probably go for this one because it has more options for me. Glamlite is an Australian indie brand, so they do ship from overseas. I'm not sure about the tariffs and anything to do with that, so I've been trying to keep that in mind for you guys and even for myself, because I ordered some makeup the other day and I know I had to pay some tariffs on it, but recently I reviewed the Lethal Cosmetics and Adventure Time collection, and with tariffs it was like a $200 and something collection, and with tariffs it went up to almost $500. So I think we're gonna see some shifting happening, and I'm very interested to hear your guys' thoughts. But I always keep that in the back of my mind with overseas brands. I don't know what the cost will end up being. And I saw a comment when I posted my Adventure Time video. Somebody said it's really interesting, or I don't know their exact words, but they said something to the effect of, it's funny that US consumers are getting a little taste of what people that order US makeup from overseas have to deal with all the time, with like surprise tariffs and stuff like that. So yeah, it is interesting. I mean, we've definitely had to pay for like shipping and stuff when we order from international brands before, and I don't mind that, but right now it feels like there's really no information on how much people need to charge for things, and so that I think is the worst part, because I feel like you can't budget well, and that's really scary, because I would hate to have ordered the Lethal and Adventure Time collab and then have it show up and have to pay another $200 on top of already paying $200 for the entire bundle. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know how it works in a country that you're in if you're outside of the US, but that is like playing Russian roulette, and I don't know that I'm interested. But anyway, that's a tangent for another day. So in 7th place is the Ranger palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. I love their palettes. I think they make such fun color stories. I really love when they do the 9-pan palettes. I did actually include this in a 5 makeup looks, 5 palettes video. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's like an hour and a half long, and I had just gotten back, I think, from a trip, and I started working on a big video to just include all the palettes that had come out around the time I was traveling. So if you missed it, check it out, or you can skip around. It is timestamped, but I really enjoy this color story. We've got some neutral shades and some fun pops of green. That seems to be the theme of the last couple of months. We've got neutrals with pops of green, and I'm here for it because you guys know how much I love greens. Also, I don't know if I said this is number 7. I meant number 9. I am so sleepy. I don't know why, because I didn't have a hard time sleeping last night, but I'm just a little bit tired, and my kids are with their babysitter, and I was so tempted to take a nap, but I decided to film this video instead. Okay, in 8th place is the Drops of Fantasy palette from DD Signature, and this is probably the most colorful palette in this video. It is vibrant, and if you haven't heard of this brand before, I do talk about them quite often. They are a Black-owned brand, and I feel like their superpower is that these shades actually really show up well on deeper complexions, or at least on my complexion. But I have seen this palette on other complexions and it looks beautiful and vibrant. I know Dee Dee herself does a lot of looks as well on their Instagram, but this is a really fun palette. We've got 2 rows of mattes and then a fun row of 5 shimmers, so you can do lots of colorful looks with this palette, and I really like this new size and style of packaging they're doing, so I can't wait to see what else they have in store. In 7th place, I think you guys are going to be really surprised because this is a green palette with some neutrals, and I feel like I'm such a green fan that usually green palettes tend to rank a little bit higher, but this is kind of a cool tone green palette, so that's why I ranked it at number 7. This is the Green Goddess palette from Bella Beauté Bar, and I did, I think, a neutral look with this palette as well as a green look. It just seemed like the way to go. So this is almost like an expanded version of the Ranger palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. So I guess it just depends on which brand's formula you prefer. I really like both brands' formulas, but if I had to pick, like, gun to my head, I would probably pick Bella Beauté Bar because I really like their metallics. They're very almost like creamy, but not in like an obnoxious way. So anyways, I really love this palette, and I will link everything down below for you guys in case you're interested in shopping. I don't think any of these brands are on YouTube Shop except Singe. I will probably link that through YouTube Shopping, but rest of these are pretty much indie brands, so I will link them and I will put my discount code next to them. So if you're interested in shopping any of these brands, usually KH Makeup is my discount code with most of the indie brands that I rep, I guess. And then in 6th place, we have the Unearthly Murky Meadows palette. I actually took this traveling with me when I went to Florida, and I had so much fun playing with this. I really love this intense neon shade in the middle of the palette. It's just such a fun pop of color, and I think it works really well with this color story. I love that they did a 9-pan palette. They also did one called Shadowed Petal. I think I used that in March maybe, so that's why I didn't include it in this video, but this is a really, really cute palette. And if you're wanting to try Unearthly but you don't want to buy one of their bigger palettes, these ones are a little bit more affordable. Okay, I honestly bought this because I love the IP, but it actually ended up being a lot prettier in person. So this is the Lord of the Rings Middle-earth palette. First of all, they did a great job with the packaging. It's so detailed. It also comes in a really beautiful box, which I already have on my bookshelf. We also have the mountains here on the mirror. Just a bunch of really nice touches. I definitely feel like this palette could have been a little bit condensed because we didn't really need such big gaps between the shades, but it's got really fun references to the franchise, and these shades are a lot more vibrant than I thought when I saw this palette in person. We also have, again, some fun pops of green, some neutrals, some blues, some purples, so it has a really nice variety. It's almost a muted rainbow palette, not really, but you know what I mean. It's like a muted green-blue palette, but with a twist. Okay, in 4th place, I was so impressed with this color story, and I really think this packaging is cute too. This is the Call of the Sirens palette from Gourmand Girls. I love this rectangular packaging with 5 pans. It actually looks very similar to the DD palette now that I look at them. Just, of course, different packaging, but this is a fun color story. It's definitely more deep and murky than we see when it comes to ocean themed palettes, but I think they did a fun job, and I love colors like this, so I'm very happy with this palette, and the pigmentation is 10 out of 10. 3rd place is this cutie. It's from Davidi Beauty, and they launched a Mingo palette. I believe they're based in Miami, so this was kind of a nod or a tip of the hat to Miami or Florida, one of the two, can't remember. Anyways, such a fun color story. We've got some greens and we've got some pinks. I think this is a perfect way to celebrate flamingos, and I think this is adorable. I really enjoyed the look I created with this palette, and I really love their formula as well. They are a newer to me indie brand, and I think this is my 4th palette with the brand, and they actually sent me this one, so I was really excited, and I really enjoy seeing what they create. Okay, so 1st and 2nd place could have been interchangeable. I love both of these palettes so much, but I picked 1st place. You'll see why I did it. In 2nd place is my friend Angie's Agate Temptation palette. I feel like if I had separated these out to April and May, Agate would have definitely won the April round because I use this palette so much. So if you have, for some reason, been living under a rock and you haven't seen this gorgeous palette from Singe Beauty, it's my friend Angelica's brand. I am just so excited. This is so me, and so many of you actually commented that, which totally made me happy because you guys know me so well, and yeah, I'm just so pumped with this palette. First of all, packaging is so beautiful, and then we have these beautiful shades, and this is just a great size for a palette. There's no extra room. I think that every inch of this palette is used well, and we don't have like big gaps in between the shades. And then we have this beautiful big mirror. So if you like to do your makeup with the mirror in your palette, that's going to be perfect for you as well. The price point is also awesome. I think this retails for $45, which honestly, the rate things are going, I don't think we're going to see a lot of $45 palettes anymore. So I love that. The quality is great. And I know Angie put a lot of time into making sure her eyeshadows worked well with people that have mature eyelids. So if that's something you're concerned with, check out her brand, because I think Angie's like 41 now, and I know that's something that she likes to pay attention to when she reviews eyeshadow palettes, and so that knowledge definitely went into her eyeshadow formula. So I just wanted to mention that. And then in 1st place, did you guys guess the palette? I don't know if you would have, but I have to give it to Ocean Jewel. You guys know that Bella Beauté Bar has one of my favorite formulas, and they have a lot of beautiful palettes that I love, but I think this might be my favorite color story from them. Look at this. This is me in a palette. I love the greens and the blues and the purples, and I love the tones, and we have a great variety of light shades. We have a great variety of deep shades. We could even do something neutral with this little column right here if you're feeling the neutral vibes, but this is me in a palette, y'all. Say less. It reminds me of some other palettes that I have from other brands that are also my favorite, but I love this gradient. I love that this is magnetized, so you can mix and match. You can also make a smaller palette if you just want like a curated little color story on the go. I am so in love with this palette, and I think this is going to be one of my favorite palettes of 2025. That is my prediction. Let me know if you picked up any of these palettes these past few months, or if you're eyeing any of these palettes, let me know as well. If you're on a low buy or a no buy, let us know what palettes you're using instead of these ones. I'm always curious to hear what you guys think. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking out my eyeshadow palette ranking video. I'm so excited to bring them back because I definitely miss ranking my eyeshadow palettes, and I'm already working on a list for June, so that'll be super fun. And if you have a little bit more time, please check out my eyeshadow palette collection video. I posted my 2025 collection video, and it's like 2.5 hours long. So if you're cleaning your house and you want to listen to something in the background, highly recommend that. Other than that, I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye, friends!